On the last episode of Alpha, the Antonio story, Antonio realized that Peaches' drug habit was worse than he thought. She was no longer a valuable contributor to the businesses, she didn't cook, and her looks had started to suffer. Seeing the writing on the wall, Antonio asked Peaches to go to rehab. She said no. After having a bit of a falling out, Antonio left and went to the club. And Cream? Well, she was a temptress, and she did what temptresses do. And from that point forward, Antonio started allowing her to help him. And now, Chapter 14, Quid Pro Quo, narrated by Shandora Warren, music by Epidemic Sound. It was just different with Cream. She wasn't my girlfriend, and she didn't try to be. There was no pressure. We didn't argue about money, bills, house stuff, or drugs. It just felt good. We talked a lot, but we talked about nothing, if that makes sense. It was just free and informal, nothing deep. For the record, no one knew her as Cream at the time. That was a name that I gave to her. Cream's name was Miracle, or Miracle, as she pronounced it. She said she called herself Miracle because it would be a miracle if any man could turn her down. The story of the nickname that I gave to her was rooted in the very thing that Peaches warned me about. Somewhat. Cream and I were involved in a full-fledged affair. I was still calling her Miracle like everybody else. By that point, I had begun to realize that Peaches was right. When you're making money like that, most women are in it for what they can get. But there was an alternate perspective that Peaches hadn't considered. I wanted things too. And life had made me understand that trade-offs were essential. You can't expect a woman to give you her time and her body and not get anything in return. One thing that I learned from my father was the importance of the balancing act. Based on what my mother told me after he passed, I knew that my father had made some missteps along the way. But when it really came down to it, he made sure that my mother was okay. He left enough insurance money for her to live comfortably after his death. He did that because my mother gave her life to him. Brenda invested a part of her life to my father as well. And while he didn't leave an insurance payout for her, he did make sure to leave some money. I understood that even more as I got older. Peaches and I were partners at one point. She gave a lot of her time and helped me to become the man that I was. There was never a point in time when I felt that she wasn't faithful. I loved Peaches for that, but I was falling out of love with her. Even still, my heart wouldn't let me discard her. I felt indebted to Peaches, so I decided that the best course of action was to continue to provide for her. But it was different with Cream. There was no debt to be paid. I freely gave to Cream because she freely gave to me. It wasn't monetary. Cream wasn't putting anything towards the business like Peaches had done, but her time and her body were both mine. I never had to tell her. She was always there to make me feel better. Cream gave me what I needed, so I did the same for her. It just so happened that what she needed was money. After dealing with Cream for a while, I realized that she was extremely motivated by cash. Her lifestyle obviously didn't come cheap. Cream was a stripper. She was at the club every night of the week to make that money. I wasn't crazy. I knew she had seduced me as a ploy to line her pockets. But I was getting what I wanted out of the deal, so I gave her what she wanted too. If I wanted to see Cream, I had to pay her. I didn't have to pay to see her. I had to pay her because she wasn't making money at the club if she was with me. And according to Cream, I'm about my money. You gotta pay me. And that's how she became Cream. It was 1993. One of my favorite groups was Wu-Tang Clan. They came out with a massive hit that year. It was titled Cream. Cream. The acronym stood for Cash Rules Everything Around Me. And that's basically what it was about for Cream. Cash ruled everything around her. So that's why I started calling her Cream. She was so motivated by money. And let's face it, the name Miracle just didn't fit her, regardless of why she used it. Everything was going good for me. The club was up and running, and I was doing the drug thing on the side. Peaches was still doing her thing. I was less bothered by it because I was distracted by Cream. But everything has an expiration. including workplace affairs. Right at the height of my situation with Cream, I got caught. And when I say I got caught, I mean I literally got caught. Peaches unlocked the office door and walked in on me having sex with Cream. Before I could even blink, Peaches was all over her. They were in that office tussling like MMA fighters, and there I was, trying to break it up with my meat slinging all around. After that point, things got complicated. Okay, I started a series of lies. If you know one thing about lying, you know that one lie leads to another. Before you know it, you have a whole slew of lies that you have to keep up with. The first lie went to Peaches. I told her that I was firing Cream from the club and that I wasn't going to see her anymore. I did not fire Cream, nor did I stop seeing her. I told Cream that she had to stay away from the club for a while. "What I'm going to do for money?" she asked. The answer was simple. "I'm going to look out for you." That's what I promised her, and that's what I did. Cream lived in a cheap little apartment. I paid her bills and made sure that she looked the part. I only had one stipulation. I didn't want her sleeping with anyone else. It was the same with Peaches. And in spite of the fact that I was obviously not above cheating, they both agreed. That may sound selfish. However, it was a trade-off. I was a man. I was willing to come through for both of those women in different ways. Peaches never had to work. When she wanted me there to watch a movie or to eat Sunday dinner, I did it. I didn't always want to, but I did it because that's what she needed. Peaches could have been anywhere with me. She decided to create distance between us because she wanted to stay home and snort coke. I gave in to that. I took care of home, and I didn't leave room for anyone else to give her what she needed. As a man, my need was for her to be faithful to me. My relationship with Cream was financial for her and sexual for me. After we were caught, we could have gone our separate ways. Cream agreed to allow me to take care of her. I did that. I made sure her bills were paid. I bought her clothes, got her hair done, and made sure her nails were done. Those were the things that were important to her. I never left room for any other man to have to do those things. As a man, my need was for her to be faithful to me. Crazy or not, it worked for a couple of months. But then, I messed up. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to follow Shinny Tells a Story on Facebook and Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to purchase books by Shandora Warren, they're all available on Amazon in ebook, paperback, and some in hardback formats. Please like and follow this podcast and share it with your friends, family, and frenemies, because all relationships matter, even the toxic ones. Thanks so much for helping me create the world that I want to see. This is my 10th book. Oh yeah, you're welcome.